This episode of the Beauty by ABIC podcast is brought to you by SmartPay. Hello and welcome to the Beauty by ABIC podcast, your online support community for the aesthetic and beauty industry. Here, we are strengthening and unifying the industry through representation, innovation, and education. This is a platform created and dedicated to the aesthetic and beauty industry, valuing unity and advancement. We serve to represent, support, and inspire you by connecting you with industry experts, expanding your knowledge through educational pieces, and bringing you the latest industry news. This is Beauty by ABIC. I'm your host, Stephanie Miller, and today's guest is Kelly Inglis for SmartPay. Kelly is an award-winning beauty therapist and cosmetic tattooist with over 19 years' experience in the industry. Kelly completed her Diploma of Beauty Therapy at the Centre of Excellence before founding the award-winning Pure Skin Clinic in 2007. Since then, she has been providing Geelong and surrounds with the highest level of care, rebranding to the Skin Hub and upgrading to a brand new 300 square metre space in 2019 renewed her commitment in providing the Skin Hub's clientele with unparalleled service and choices, while ensuring she offers the most advanced skincare and cosmetic tattoo treatments available. Alongside her Diploma of Beauty Therapy, Kelly is also an award-winning cosmetic tattoo artist, having trained around the world with industry leaders in all eyebrow techniques, advanced eyeliner, lip tattoo, scalp micropigmentation, laser tattoo removal, and saline tattoo removal. She is also the co-founder and co-director of Australian Colour Technologies, the sole distributors of BDR Medical Beauty Skincare in Australia and New Zealand, GoldenEye Micropigmentation products, and their very own brands, The Beauty Room and Medicone Gel. Here to give us tips on running a successful business during times of economic pressures and the rising business costs. For SmartPay, today we welcome Kelly Inglis. Hello, Kelly, and welcome to our podcast. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, today I'm so excited to have you on our podcast because you are an extremely successful business owner, someone that we all aspire to be in our industry, a passionate skin guru, a cosmetic tattooist, and you've been running a successful business for years. And obviously today we're here to talk about the economy and how, you're personally being so successful in such a challenging environment. But before we start off, Kelly, I'd love to know, and our listeners would love to know all about you, your business. Tell us, what is the Skin Hub?
Sure. So the Skin Hub, I've had my business for nearly 16 years. So 16 years this December, which is definitely a long time. I've been through it all, I think. There's pretty much nothing that you could throw at me now that would surprise me. It's skin and cosmetic tattoo based business. We do sort of a range of everything, really, all the skin treatments. We have lots of different modalities in clinic, so skin needling, microdermabrasion, carbon facials, lasers, fat cavitation, RF. We kind of do everything to treat everything that we possibly can for people, and obviously cosmetic tattoo as well. So eyebrows, lips, eyeliner, scalp tattoo, saline and laser tattoo removal, and lots of correction work as well. So I'm very passionate about the correction work with cosmetic tattoo. It's something that I really love.
And I can see why you called it the Skin Hub. It really is a hub of all things skin. So it's like a one-stop shop for your clients to come in and really experience, really get anything that they need for their skin all in one place. Gosh, what an incredible place you've created for your clients and also
Thank
for your
you.
staff.
Yeah. I actually chose the word hub. I searched for ages for a new business name when I rebranded about 4 years ago, and hub really stood out to me as something that everybody was sort of welcome. Everybody could come to. I didn't want the word clinic. I have no problem with the word clinic. I just wanted something just slightly warmer for myself and my team, and it seems to have worked really well.
Oh, I love the fact that you've told us that you rebranded 4 years ago. That must have been a
Mm,
huge journey for you. Very
mm.
scary as well. Tell us briefly, like, what is that experience like? Because I know myself, a lot of other people, even thinking about that is so daunting. Was it a really hectic kind of experience, or did you find it?
Um, I found it really fun actually. I actually really enjoyed it. We had outgrown our space. We'd been there for 12 years. It was about, I think it was 105 square meters. And yeah, I rang my landlord and said, I'm leaving. And he was really disappointed and said, "Oh, I'm sorry you're going out of business." And I was like, "Oh no, I need more space." So we actually just moved to the other side of the car park. He cut up another building for us pretty much, and I stayed with him. And yeah, we're now just over 300 square meters. So we have a huge space, which is amazing. And yeah, great team. Loved the rebranding process. Yeah, I wanted something new. Previously, we were a pure skin clinic, and the name just didn't really resonate with me anymore. And yeah, I just wanted something new and fun and different.
Were your clients okay with it?
Yeah, I think they were as excited as we were. We kept sort of the journey on social media as much as we could
Oh,
throughout the
lovely.
build because it was just on the other side of the car park. I'd just, pop over in my lunch break and take quick videos and things like that and post it to social. So I think they were as excited as we were to have a brand new space to come to, and yeah, lots of new equipment and stuff like that. So it was good. It was really
I
good.
can imagine it would be so inspiring for your team, for yourself, for your clients, and sharing that
Mm.
journey. It's so smart. You're obviously such a smart businesswoman, as
Well,
well as
thank you.
passionate about what you do. Because you tell me, we hopped on before this podcast, and you told me
Mm.
30 hours a week you still, do correction work and also cosmetic tattooing. You're obviously
Yeah.
you're an artist. You're passionate what you're doing, but that business element is very strong with you, Kelly. Why did you choose
Mm.
to come into the industry? And were you always really interested in the business side?
The business side was definitely my main focus. Even from early high school, I just wanted to be in business. I've always been really focused on numbers, and my staff tease me about how many spreadsheets I have. I have another business as well, and my business partner's always laughing at me that I'm trying to get her to read my spreadsheets, and she's like, "No." So yeah, just really focused on the numbers. That's what I love most about it, and I just think that that's really important, especially today, with all the stresses we have with the economy as well.
Yeah, look, being focused on numbers is so important. And, a lot of us get into this industry because we're passionate about helping people with their skin. And, we're
Mm,
artists at heart and we're nurturers at heart. And so the numbers is something that a lot of us tend to, as you said, with your business partner, kind of
mm,
not want to look at, not want to shy away
yeah.
from the spreadsheets. Why did you actually choose to get into this industry? Did you have that passionate side about skin as well?
No, no, I'm going to be brutally honest there.
Oh, I love
Um,
that.
Look, I love skin. I do. I love cosmetic tattoo. I would say that running businesses is definitely my passion. I 100% support staff in their learning journey and everything like that. This industry in particular, and back when I started over 20 years ago, it was not as skin focused. It was really beauty focused. So waxing, and it was sort of more relaxation facials and
Mhm.
massage and manis and pedis and stuff like that. So to be honest, most of those treatments that I learnt 20 years ago, we don't even do in clinic now. So
Wow.
it's changed a lot. So I think, saying that I was drawn to skin, yeah, no,
You might
not
have
at
been drawn to
all.
the beauty element, but you know what?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I've actually learned something. huge right now, and that is this industry is profitable. It can be a great business. And that's what maybe a lot of us then tend to forget when we're in business and when we're running our clinics or salons. We think, it is a passion project, and it's so great that it is. But let's not forget, we can run successful businesses, and people choose to come into this industry because it is a very profitable industry when run correctly. And one of the things, one of the things that we need to understand how to do is not just increase revenue, but how do we manage our costs? How do we get that balance right? I think we've been very lucky previous to the pandemic. We had some really good economic times, and we didn't really need to do, a lot of us didn't need to do much to make our businesses successful. People were purchasing and the flow was right. But businesses, small businesses in particular, and in our industry also in particular, over the last few years, starting at the pandemic and now with the with the rise in cost of living, you can see how things are changing, how the balance is shifting between costs and revenue, and how, these kind of rises in costs have affected businesses and the bottom line. What have you seen over the past few years? What type of changes have happened in your business with regards to this?
Massive changes. I think it's so important to know your numbers these days. I can't stress that enough for business owners to be across the board, knowing what's coming in, knowing what's going out, and ahead of time as well. Not when things are due, or not last minute, or we're really quiet this week, we need to do something. I think you really have to be on the ball and planning months ahead. I think the way that consumer behavior has changed a lot as well. I think people need to really think about what they're offering their clients, rather than just doing, the same things that they've always done. I don't think that clients they just don't have the disposable money that they used to. Interest rates are just so high for people. We've noticed a massive change in what people will spend and the treatments that they're after as well in clinic. So I think it's really important that clinic owners sit down and actually have a really good look at their business and maybe make a few changes.
What in particular have you noticed? What treatments are they tending towards?
I think those high-end treatments, or the big money treatments, are sort of dropping off a little bit. Clients still want their skincare. They still want to look really good as well. They still want to have treatments. So I think, shorter and sharper, get them in for a bespoke peel instead of an hour and a half facial. Cut the cost for them, cut the time for them. You might be able to get more clients into your book that way as well. In the end, sort of, getting that revenue that you need and not relying on sort of the bigger spending clients all the time. Yeah, more of the smaller spending clients.
Right, and more volume. I understand. Look at your treatment times. Look at what you're offering. Make them short and sharp. I like that. It is very different to the traditional, spending a luxurious 1 to 2 hours with your clients and building a whole package. I think that things have changed, at least temporarily, to adapt to your business. And I think you need to do a check-in, every quarter to see what's happening. I love how you said plan in advance. What type of things do you plan in advance?
Oh, everything. I plan everything. So I've got promotions planned for the next 6-12 months. And breaking down promotions that we've done in the past as well. I think that doing the same thing every year can actually be really beneficial. We have a specific promo, which I won't go into in detail, but we do that every year for 2 months. And it's in the quietest part of our year, so generally sort of June, July, and that actually makes it the busiest part of our year, which is really good. Yeah, so I think building up, days or months or whatever with clients and doing it over and over, you have a better outcome.
Wow, that is so incredibly insightful. Lots of people think that they have to reinvent the wheel every single year. In actual fact, train your clients' behavioral spend. Like you can
Yeah,
train your clients to know, right, these couple of months, this is what I go into the clinic for, and especially seasonal as well. Our skin
absolutely.
need different things every season, and
Mm,
if you one idea is to build it around that. But if you have consistency every year, then the client understands, right, this is what I can do in June, July, and then they take
yeah.
it. They're prepared for it. They even plan for it, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They do. And I think from an owner's perspective as well, just making sure that you're not generally discounting, but adding value if you're doing a special promotion day. Don't take away money that you were going to get. Give the clients more of your time or, more value to the treatment.
Is your salon still paying FPOS fees? Join thousands, saving thousands when you switch to SmartPay's zero-cost FPOS solution. They've saved beauty professionals and hair merchants collectively over $1.3 million per annum in FPOS fees. Want to know how you can save? As an ABIC member, visit /info.smartpay.com.au/ABIC to take advantage of their current cashback offer when you switch. Terms and conditions apply. And so when they're coming in, you're noticing that they're choosing different treatments, but are you noticing something a little bit different with their spending habits? I notice in my clinics, no one's paying cash anymore. Is that
Yeah.
something you're noticing?
Yeah, absolutely. So most recently, I was just talking to my receptionist about this the other day. We actually have people come into the clinic now and say, "Do you take cash?" And that is new, like in the last few months. And we're like, yes, absolutely we do. We take cash. I find that to be quite bizarre. And I know we're heading towards a cashless society one day, but yeah, just asking that question seems quite absurd, doesn't it?
It is very strange. Are
Mm,
you a business that takes cash? Like, it's an
yeah.
archaic practice almost.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Goodness me. We are heading towards a cashless society. That's what everyone wants. That's what definitely our governments want. That's what most people are wanting for convenience, and so many reasons why it's a benefit. But it really is quite difficult when you're trying to be a clinic that's managing, or a business that's managing the cost of moving toward cashless, because
yeah,
obviously there's no cost associated with someone giving you, a
mm,
hundy.
yeah,
There's no fees attached
yeah,
to that, right? So what
yeah,
do? We've got these huge FPOS fees, and people are struggling. As you said, we've got rise in interest rates, but everything has gone up in price. I don't know if you've
yeah.
noticed this in your business, but goodness me, all of my supplies have gone up 50% at least. My
Oh,
rent.
absolutely. It's quite hard actually to balance that cost. Um, what I tend to do is what I've always done for 16 years really is I have spreadsheets of all my costs throughout the entire year. And I know that seems daunting if it's not something that you generally do, but even starting with writing down on a spreadsheet what you've spent in October so far, and just having that down there and sort of building it that way rather than going back for 12 months. I think that you can generally sort of sit down and go through that and find ways where you can save money. I think seeing it all on a screen in front of you is much easier to be able to reduce those costs as well.
Sometimes you don't know where to start. We've all heard of lean management, lean
Mm,
process. Go in and revise your costs. Sometimes
yep.
when I sit there and look at my costs, I'm like, I need this, I need that, I need I need all those things. How am I going to
Yeah.
run without that? I need my staff. I need obviously need to pay the rent. I obviously need the skincare that I have, my medical supplies that I have. Where do you even start looking at where do I cut costs?
I think you really need to start, with the basics. Have a look at what you're actually spending money on.
Mm.
So I think a lot of business owners aren't aware that there's actually business benchmarks for our industry put out by the ATO, and they're very simple. You can look those up. I've just jotted them down really quickly if you want me to go through them. There's
Yes,
only 5.
please. That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
So cost of sales should be about 16 to 24% of your business.
Mm-hmm.
Total expenses, 81 to 90%. Wages, they say 28 to 36%. Rent or your lease, somewhere between 10 and 18%. And then they put motor vehicle expenses, which is really not that relevant in our industry, and it's only 1%. So you can kind of disregard that one, I think. Yeah. But I think sitting down, starting with that, grabbing your profit and loss, or, just some documents from your accountant and going through that with them, they would be happy to do that with you as well, just to see where your business actually sits within those ATO benchmarks. And then you can see where you're actually spending too much money. I think that's where you start.
Right. And can I ask, for those who are out there going, oh, these ATO business benchmarks for our industry, where do we go to find those? The ATO website, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just type in ATO business benchmarks beauty industry. Yeah, pretty simple, that one. They'll pop straight up on the screen, and just, yeah, apply them to your own business. See where you're spending too much. I find that most people are spending too much on wages, to be honest. So yeah, that's generally where you need to start. Or spending too much, like having a lot of things in the cupboards as well. Like, I'm sure any business that's been open for at least 12 months, go to the cupboards and have a look what's in there. You've probably got thousands of dollars of products just sitting there doing nothing. Stop ordering products, use those, It's the little things, isn't it?
Goodness me, I can relate to that. My cupboards
Yeah.
are overflowing, and you get into the habit of, your staff want to play and they want to have fun and they want to order, and you hand over your ordering to your staff, because obviously I'm not, physically in the clinic I'm not a manager of my clinic. I'm the owner of my clinic, and the girls love it. We give them the budgets, but they're like, oh, can we, get this, and can we
Yeah.
get that? And then it just ends up sitting in the cupboard, and you're right, thousands upon thousands, and they keep reordering and selling the same things, and those ones sit in the cupboards. Stop reordering. You make sales promotions. Obviously, don't discount, value add, as you were saying, but use the things
Yeah.
that are in your cupboard. You would be surprised the amount of revenue you can
Absolutely.
generate from that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we've probably all got a moisturizer somewhere in the back cupboard that could be used on a quick foot massage or something to add some value.
God, I love it. Oh, your brain. I love everything that you're telling us. It's so insightful, and it's, on the ground, someone who manages their skin hub every single day and actively
Yeah.
does so. It's not just a reactive management, it is proactive management, and that's what's going to make the difference.
Yeah.
You've shared some tips about how you structure your management of your clinic. Now let's talk about what are the basics. Give us some of those tips, and specifically, let's talk about fees, because we all have so
Mm.
many fees within our business. One kind of niggly one, as we said, that to combat the cashless payments is FPOS fees.
Yeah.
Are we stuck? Do we have to be stuck paying those every single month?
No, absolutely not. That was one of my my most hated fees, to be honest. I hated seeing that come out as my bank account at the start of every month. And when I sort of sat down a few years ago, because I tend to do this sort of every 12 months, and go through the bills and see what can be cut. And I thought that there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way than paying all these fees. So I started doing a bit of research, firstly at, my own bank, and they cut fees for me. That was a resounding no. So yeah, just going through all the banks and looking online and seeing what could be done. And yeah, that's when I come across SmartPay, which was pretty exciting. Yeah, having no fees at all was something I didn't think that actually was an option.
Neither did I before I understood
Mm.
that there's zero cost FPOS. The problem, and let's get real here, we're in our industry, and you come from it from a business perspective as well. And I think, to underestimate our clients is I think we look at our clients and think, well, they're not going to like that, so we're not going to do it. It's unethical. I don't want to pass on fees, and they're not going to be happy with it. And we're so focused, we're nurturers in our industry. We're so focused on always making our client happy and doing the right thing by them. Let's get real. Is it right by our clients to charge them fees?
Look, I think, yeah, it's definitely something I struggled with at the start, passing, something else onto the client. When I sat down though, and I really went through it, what I found was that passing something onto them, which can be very minimal, if they're using check or savings, it's 30 cents. It's 30 cents per transaction. Yeah, it's nothing. So, they probably dropped that out of the car door on the way in. And what I found was that saving that cost in the business meant that I haven't put my prices up in 2 years. And I know that's not, sort of nobody else is really doing that in the industry right now. Everybody's sort of, putting their prices up to combat the costs and stuff. But I really went behind the scenes to try and cut my costs as much as I could, rather than just adding more to the client, because I think people are stressed about coming in. They're stressed about spending the money. And let's be honest, for some people, yes, beauty is essential. But for most people, it's not live or die, is it? You have to eat. You don't have to have a facial to survive. So, and I know, salon owners out there going, oh my God, she said that out loud.
What are you saying,
But,
Kelly?
yeah, I know. But yeah, I just tried to save the costs of the business behind the scenes rather than just passing something else on to them. I wanted people still to be able to come in. Yeah.
I think it's a shift in mentality. We think, oh, is it ethical to pass on, 30 cents or $1 or $2 or even $10 onto the client? But for you, for us, the cumulative costs mean that we end up saving so much more at the end of the month, possibly thousands, right? Which means you don't need to rise your costs, the cost of actually delivering the treatment. For the client, it's negligible. They don't really feel it. For us, we do. And so for us, I can't stress enough, it's that cumulative benefit for us. Whereas a one-off cost for the client, it ends up compounding for us at the end of the month and then even at the end of the year. And I was thinking to myself, like, how can we fight this kind of a limiting belief about what our clients are happy to do or happy to spend on? And I found when I introduced it in my business that clients, as long as you're transparent, you advise them, you tell them, we've got a new FPOS system. It means it on charges the fees to you. They are so used to it because literally everybody does this every day with food and in the restaurant industry.
Absolutely.
It is commonplace, right?
Yeah, Aldi does it. I mean, if Aldi does it.
I was blown away. With the response. I thought, oh, they're right. Every time I go to a cafe, I always pay the fees and I don't even flinch. And here we are thinking, oh my goodness, it's so unethical. What can I do? I need to bear these fees. It's actually not true. It's a limiting belief of ours.
Yeah. And I think because we have those personal relationships with clients as well, like we're concerned about their budget as much as they're concerned about their budget. But yeah, I really think just, behind the scenes, saving the money for the business, we can apply that to staff training and stuff like that. And that's exactly what I did. I saved minimum $6,000 a year on FPOS fees. And I think that's huge. So that's $6,000 a year that I can spend on staff training. So, win for me, win for staff, win for the clients at the end of the day. And it's really just a few dollars a year for clients.
I would say honestly, I've saved $30,000 to $40,000 on FPOS fees. I have 2 clinics, and I would say that, if not more. And I'm blown away of the things that I can do with those funds, and that's including not raising my prices. And I haven't done so in the last year either. I'm so proud to say that we haven't actually raised our costs in the last 12 months. And I have had a little bit of money left over to, you know, buy a new skin analysis machine and, you know, a whole bunch of things that
Fantastic.
actually benefit for the client. The clients love it, you
Yeah.
know. We can give them more
Yeah.
in-depth now skin analysis, and it's an added extra benefit that we include in our business. And
That's it.
it's getting creative, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, absolutely. Just like I said, going through everything and finding where you can save your money. Even if you're not spending it on new equipment or something, you know, it's adding to the bottom line at the end of the day, adding to the profitability. Why give it to
Absolutely.
the bank? Stop giving it to the banks.
Look, I found it so simple joining up with SmartPay. I think that it can be a daunting process to think, oh my goodness, I need to swap all over my terminals and, you know, retrain my staff. How did you find it?
No, so simple. Just a phone call, they send it in, you plug it in, it's done. It was so simple. It couldn't be more simple. You know, you give them all the details of your bank account, you unplug one, ring the bank, tell them to come and get it, and plug in the other one the next day. Yeah, that's not hard.
I think we've you know, been successful in, I suppose, re-evaluating some of the beliefs that we possibly had about fees. You know, you can go through your business and do the same thing with other fees that you've got in your business.
Yeah.
Look at the example of this zero cost FPOS. See if there's any other areas of your business that you can apply the same thinking. As Kelly did, Google, how do I stop paying this particular fee? Like, let's try and find ways of getting smart about it so that we're not burdening our businesses and taking away from giving that incredible service to our clients. Is there anything else that you've reinvested that money on in your business? I heard you said you got skin needling and a whole bunch of other stuff. Is there anything else that you've been excited to introduce into your business lately?
Just really staff training. I think just keeping everybody excited about their learning is really important. So we're always doing lots of trainings, and I say to my girls, you know, if there's something that you want to do, like bring it to me. Don't wait for me to, you know, find something and suggest it. Like tell me, you know, what's all the rage at the moment? What are the young kids doing? You know, just yeah. I think that's important that they stay really engaged and excited about their learning as well.
It makes them more productive. It brings in more revenue, and not just that, it gives you know, ultimately the clients a better experience and better results. And that's what we're here to do at the end of the day, is to change
Yeah.
lives, to change skin, to make people happy. And the only way we can do that is to keep our doors open, keep us successful, and run a really profitable clinic. And that's how
Mm.
you give back to your clients, and keeping your doors open and keeping your staff really engaged and relevant with the training. So well done,
Yeah.
Lee. I think you know, you're an example to us all. I'm definitely going to go back and Google the ATO business benchmarks for my industry. That's for sure.
Let me know how you go. I'm
I'll be
interested to
crunching those
see.
numbers this week.
Yeah.
And anybody listening, if you're interested in SmartPay, which you really should be, I urge you to. You won't look back. I've done it personally in my business. Kelly's done it in hers. If you have any questions at all, you can reach out to us, and we will give you advice at ABIC. And if you want to reach out to SmartPay, you have the details at the bottom of the podcast. We will be doing a lot more educational pieces around cost cutting. We actually have a really incredible article in our ABIC journal this month about lean management and specifically about cost cutting. So if you want to find out more about how to do that and how to map out your client journey to make it the most efficient, take a look at that as well. Kelly, thank you so much for being part of our podcast today.
My pleasure. Very enjoyable. Thank you.
Thank you. You've reached the end of another episode of the Beauty by ABIC podcast, your online support community for the aesthetic and beauty industry. Thank you for listening, and until next time, stay connected.